This is KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio, and I'm sitting in the dark secret place. Captain Dale Dye, one of KFI's military guys, sitting in for the other of KFI's military guys, First Lieutenant Brian Suits. Brian's off tonight, so I'm going to spend, thankfully, the next couple of hours with you and talk about what I hope are some very, very interesting topics. One of the things that we're going to do in the second hour, so I'll just promo this right away and do the housekeeping here, is to talk to the authors of a new book, a terrific new book that I've just finished reading called Fahim Speaks, which is the story of an Afghan national who lived out his dream, came to America, became an actor here in the Los Angeles area, and then because he loved this country, and because he wanted to give something back. How unusual is that for an immigrant? But he wanted to give something back. So he volunteered to go back to Afghanistan with the United States Marines, and he served as an interpreter. While there, he met a distinguished Marine, an author by the name of Michael Moffett, and he and Mike got together and wrote a book called Fahim Speaks. And we'll be talking to Fahim himself and Michael in the 9 o'clock hour. So hopefully you'll stick around for that. It's good to be back with KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. I'm Captain Dale Dye, filling in for Brian Suits in the dark secret place. Brian will be back in this time slot tomorrow. We've had an interesting conversation to date about women in the military and the current experiments that are going on trying to force women closer to the pointy end of the bayonet in infantry, armor, and artillery units. We may have more to say about that, some interesting phone calls. But I want to spend some time in this segment of the dark secret place talking about a new book. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, a subsidiary of my company, Warriors Incorporated, Warriors Publishing Group, has published this book. But that is neither here nor there regarding the content, which is striking, which is unusual. I consume vast amounts of written material about the military these days, about the global war on terrorism and our efforts in Iraq and Afghanistan, elsewhere in the world. But this book by Fahim Fazli and Michael Moffett really strikes home. It strikes home because it is written in the words of a man who knows whereof he speaks, namely Fahim Fazli. This is a guy who was born and raised in Kabul, came to the United States as a refugee in his teens after the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan in 1979. He and his family eventually fled to Pakistan, then made their way to the United States. He put in a lot of years of hard work, odd jobs, fully assimilated into American culture, wanted to be an actor, pursued that goal, finally got into the Screen Actors Guild, appeared in numerous movie and television projects, and then, because he loves this country, decided that he wanted to pay it back a little bit. So he volunteers to go with the United States Marines into virulent and violent territory in his native country, the Helmand Province in southern Afghanistan, to serve as an interpreter. While he's there, he meets Michael Moffett, veteran of Desert Storm, a return to active duty from his U.S. Marine Corps Reserve status after the 9/11 attacks, and who served as a field historian in Afghanistan. He retired from the Marine Corps, Michael Moffett did, as a lieutenant colonel in 2011, and turned his attention to helping Fahim, who he met in Afghanistan, tell this fascinating story. I can't tell you the insights, the eyebrow-raising insights about Afghanistan, the culture, and the true love story and patriotism of a man like Fahim Fazli. It's an inspiration, and I urge you to read the book, but rather than send you off with instructions to buy this book and read it, let's talk to the authors, Fahim Fazli and Michael Moffett. Hi, Fahim. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hello, Captain. How you doing?
Good.
Great to be here.
Good. I can hear that New Hampshire accent already there, neighbor. So, Fahim, let me focus with you for a minute. I've already told the audience about your trek. Here you are. Let's set the scene here. Here you are, pursuing a career in show business, doing rather well, fully assimilated into American society, married to an American woman, with a child, and suddenly you have this cranial cramp that says, I want to go back to my war-torn homeland and serve as an interpreter with the Marines. Why?
First of all, I want to thank you for inviting us to your show, sir. And I want to thank you for you doing your service in Vietnam and all over this country. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. The reason I went to Afghanistan, I've been living in this country for 27 years. And one day I wake up, 2009, look at my American passport. I became a citizen, a U.S. citizen 22 years ago. And I look at my passport, I want to see what I have done for this country, that I pay my dues for this country besides paying tax. And I made a decision. I told my wife, I want to go pay my dues for this beautiful country. This country gave me a lot. This country gave me a shelter from the communists, which is the communists kicked me out from my own country, 1978, and come to America as a refugee. God bless Ronald Reagan to give me shelter of this beautiful country. That's why I want to pay my dues, and I want to pay my dues for the best military in the world, which is all U.S. Marine.
Fahim, you must understand that there's a lot of conversation, a lot of back and forth, especially here in Southern California, where we have a heavy immigrant population. And people say that, well, you know, the problem is people don't assimilate. They don't adopt our culture. They don't appreciate our culture. They want to live in enclaves, and they want to hold on to their own culture. You certainly are an Afghani. There's no question. I know you and have talked to you. But you've been able to assimilate very easily and very fully into American culture. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Sir, we all came in from different, our great-grandfathers came in from different countries, but we call ourselves first American. This country is the best country, give a shelter to all of us. This country has a future. This country gives us a future. You can be anybody in this country if you put your hand together, if you put your mind together. And I am called myself American because I got this, Afghanistan is my birth country, but this country is my adopted country. This country saved me from the communists. I cannot say I'm Afghan American. If I am Afghan American, why should I not go back to Afghanistan? Why should I call myself Afghan American? I am American in my birth country, Afghanistan, which is thanks to my mother to give me a birth in that country. And thanks to Ronald Reagan brought me in this country as a refugee. That's why I'm call myself, I am American. I feel we do have a lot of Irish, Scottish, German, Mexican, or Black African American. If they call themselves Irish American, if they call themselves German American, why they go back over there, call themselves German? But the reason I'm calling myself American, because this country has done a lot of good things for me. This country defeat communists. This country defeated terrorists. That's why I would never say that I am Afghan American. I am Afghan birth, but this country adopt me, save me from the communists. That's why I'm here, and I want to pay my dues.
Interesting perspective. Michael Moffett, let's let you chime in here. Did you notice that sort of attitude when you first met Fahim in Helmand Province in Afghanistan?
Well, Dale, when I first met Fahim, I was at a event in Delaram in dangerous Helmand Province, and he was interpreting at this event, and to great effect. And what struck me about Fahim was how he brought people together. the Afghans, the civilians, the Marines. He is an actor, very charismatic, and very good as a speaker. And he brought people together. And I talked to him at this event, and what really struck me was his genuine love for serving the country, wearing the uniform. He was not a Marine. He was an attachment to the Marines with a big beard and long hair. But he clearly loved his role, loved the Marines, and he brought people together. And that struck me real quick because post 9/11, I think so many of us were looking for someone or more people from Islamic cultures to stand up and condemn the intolerance of their native lands. And Fahim was not afraid to say he loved America and to stand out like that.
Yeah, that's one of the most interesting aspects of the book. And the book, again, is Fahim Speaks. We're talking to Fahim Fazli and Michael Moffett, co-authors of that particular book. It's available on Amazon. Look it up online. Fahim Speaks, a terrific book with some of the insights that Michael Moffett was talking about. Fahim talks about some of those things in Islamic culture that we just don't get. And he's got the perspective on it. We're going to hold, you guys can stay with us, I hope. We're going to hold these folks over. And if you want to talk to Fahim or Michael about the new book, about their experiences in Afghanistan, give us a call. 1-800-520-1KFI. Let's take a break. I'm Captain Dale Dye. This is the Dark Secret Place. Captain Dale Dye filling in for Brian Suits on KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk radio.